Well, time's just about up for Tesla shareholders to ratify Elon Musk's 2018 CEO compensation package. In this video, potentially the final discussion until we know the outcome of the shareholder vote. First, from an absolute legend, a total G who embarrasses and puts everyone watching this channel to shame based on his life achievements and accomplishments, Patrick Bet-David, an absolute legend, spitting some facts on Musk's compensation package and the entire case, as only PBD can do. And then we'll hear from Robyn Denholm, talking to CNBC. I'll do my best not to interrupt too much today, but I can't make any promises.
Something very strange is going on with Tesla right now because Elon Musk negotiated a contract in February of 2018 with Tesla saying, look, I don't need you to pay me anything. If I'm able to grow the company, which I'll give you the detail, I want to get paid X, Y, Z. And for him to do that was insane because at the time, Tesla was the most shorted stock on NASDAQ 100. 22% of the stock was shorted at a time where the average was 3.5%. And this guy said, no, don't pay me anything. They're like, no, we have to pay you something. Fine, pay me the minimum wage. $37,000. This guy hasn't taken a single penny of his salary, $37,000. It stays in the account. All he's been waiting for is if I blow up Tesla, even though nobody in the marketplace believed this is possible, I want to get paid big time. The big time money for him is $50 to $56 billion. And the shareholders, guess what they said when they voted? What do you think? You think the shareholders said we should pay him or we shouldn't pay him? 73% of shareholders said at the meeting in favor of paying Elon Musk what they negotiated years before that. But the judge, Kathleen McCormick, appointed by Governor John Carney, the governor of the state Delaware, Joe Biden, they're both Democrats, said in her ruling that the court has the authority to remedy corporate transactions regardless of whether or not a vote is legally mandated. Delaware for the longest time was the state where a lot of people wanted to get their businesses incorporated. I've done it myself. Now they're saying, no, we don't have to pay you anything, regardless of the amount of risk you took, Elon Musk, regardless of all those sleepless nights, regardless of how many more people you made wealthy, you don't deserve to pay. And that's right now in court, and we're going to talk about that today. All right, so if you get value out of this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Let's get right into it. Here's what we're looking at. Like I told you earlier, in 2018, while he's negotiating with Tesla, and I'm going to read that part to you here in the purple. Tesla stock was being shorted 22.6 at an average of 3.5, which was the number in NASDAQ 100. Tesla had $7.2 billion in total recourse debt on its balance sheet. That was up around 42% from December of 2016, and it ended up with $3.3 billion in cash and cash equivalents. Moody analysts downgraded their credit rating on Tesla to B3 from B2. Concerns about the company's ability to hit its production targets for Model 3. Cash burn was a concern. There was so many things that people were saying. And then Musk in 2018. Musk's all or nothing pay deal was initially approved by Tesla's shareholder in 2018, and the firm agreed to give the CEO up to 304 million shares in return for achieving certain profit and revenue-linked milestones, including raising market cap. Ready? In 2018, Tesla's worth $59 billion. His pay was, this guy's going to increase it to $650 billion. Who the hell in the right mind thought this guy's going to do when it's being shorted 22.6%? This many people. Think about it.
Fact check. Almost true. I think there was a few people that thought, but yeah, we were in the vast minority. It's really important to have this context in mind. The short interest in particular, almost a quarter of shares outstanding was short. Again, the average in the NASDAQ was an order of magnitude less for a typical company. It was just bonkers. All the smart money, all the smart people, everyone knew Tesla was going bankrupt. Now, obviously, it was inevitable that they would reach cash flow positive and then start printing insane amounts of money as they scaled production. Worst case scenario, they had to issue more stock, dilute shareholders a few more times to get through production hell, or even worse than that, maybe they get acquired by a huge company. But the narrative was, Tesla's doomed, the company's going bankrupt, they'll never make money, the competition's coming. It was FUD every fucking day of the week, 24/7, non-stop, relentless. A lot of that, of course, driven by short sellers who are part of the Wall Street fee machine and a self-flating entity in which you take a short position, you give a little nudge to your friends over at CNBC and others in the fake finance media. Hey guys, I've got a great article, great news piece that'll get lots of attention and draw advertising eyeballs to your network. I'm short Tesla. Please invite me on so I can explain why Tesla's going doom, so I can tell everyone I'm short Tesla stock. Tesla stock will crash and make a fuckload of money on my profit because that's how it works. Thanks. And that's what would happen every fucking day. So this compensation package, the carrot dangled in front of Musk, the milestones at the time they were outlined would in essence see Tesla not only 10x in market cap for Elon Musk to reach the final tranche, but in addition, see an enormous increase in revenue, and super important, the shift from cash flow negative to losing to burning money to printing insane amounts of money. And the narrative at the time, as PBD alludes to here, is Tesla's doomed, they're never going to make it, the company's going bankrupt, they're fucked, short the stock. So few people thought the company would survive, let alone that any of these milestones were achievable, let alone the final tranches.
There's no way this is happening. This guy's delusional. They're not going to hit their numbers. This is ridiculous. And then even in their letter going out to everybody, you're a shareholder, you get this February or March of 2018, Elon will receive no guaranteed compensation of any kind, no salary, no cash bonuses, no equity that vests by the passage of time. Instead, Elon's only compensation will be 100% at-risk performance award, which ensures that he will be compensated only if Tesla and all of our shareholders, stockholders, do extraordinary well. The award consists of stock options that vest only if Tesla achieves specific milestones, which is fully achieved would make Tesla one of the most valuable companies in the world with a market cap of at least $650 billion, more than 10 times what it is worth today. Shareholders got this. March of 2018, after it's negotiated, February of 2018. Imagine you negotiate this and afterwards they're like, no, we got to pay you $37,000. It's like, dude, I don't want the $37,000. Look at this paper here in 2018, May 3rd. Tesla's disappointing earnings highlight problems in scaling production. Here's the next one for you. December 27, 2017. This is 2 months before he negotiated. Tesla's make or break year. 2018 will test Elon Musk's USA Today. Next one for you, March 14th, 2018. This is after he negotiated his deal. Tesla employees say automaker is churning out a volume of flawed parts requiring costly rework. Here's another one for you, January 26, 2018. While he's negotiating his comp plan, Tesla employees say to expect more Model.
Just want to take a quick moment here. Great to see PBD going through some FUD, but notice a recurring theme here. Laura of CNBS, who's been publishing anti-Tesla drivel for more than half a decade. Consistently, still today, by the way. How embarrassing it must be to have been trashing Tesla, spreading fear, uncertainty, and doubt for more than half a decade, while the company has gone from losing incredible amounts of money, trying to ramp Model 3 successfully, to becoming one of the world's most successful and valuable, never mind technologically advanced companies, period. Yet still, same narrative, half a decade later. Embarrassing.
3 delays, citing inexperienced workers, manual assembly of batteries. I can go on and on and on with all these stories, but you know what ends up happening? Is one of the top 3 individual shareholders of Tesla. He owns roughly 23% of all shares, 715 million shares as of December 31st of 2023. His younger brother, Kimball Musk, owns roughly 1.6 million Tesla shares, and then Jeffrey Straubel holds 276,000 shares, worth around $55 million. And then the top 3 shareholders of Tesla are who? Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street. They own a ton of shares of Tesla. And this guy says, guys, if I go do the impossible, I'd like to get paid in a hefty way. This is what it looks like. Take a look at this chart real quick. Okay, look at 2018. The navy blue on the bottom is how much net income you're making. What does it show you? In a loss. What does the red show you? It's 21 billion. Go down to 2023. What does the blue show you? 15 billion net income. What does the red show you? Nearly $100 billion. This man is owed up to $56 billion after 10xing it. And a judge out of Delaware, this sweet little judge, Kathleen McCormick, appointed by Governor John Carney, friends with Joe Biden, is saying, no, we're not going to pay it to you. Even though the shareholders want to pay you, we don't think it's a good idea to pay you. And by the way, for a lot of people that are saying, well, BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, all this stuff, they're the ones that are pushing their weight. Wait. Elon owns more shares of Tesla than those 3 combined. Individually. Collectively, they own less of Tesla than Elon owns individually. That's a big deal right there. Now keep this in mind. It's like, oh, you want to get all this money because you want to flaunt it, right? It's what you want to do. And he says, this is in 2018, he says, I actually see the potential for Tesla to become $1 trillion company within a 10-year period. Think about it. He says this then. It's a $50 billion company that's shorted 22.6%. It's $1 trillion. Like, this guy's freaking delusional. Who do you think you are? You're like P.D. Barnum is who you are. You know, illusion of success, but it's all fake. You don't know what you're you're talking about. And by the way, he says, if all that happens over the next 10 years is that Tesla's value grow by 80 or 90%, then my amount of compensation would be zero. Meaning, if I only double it from 50 billion to $100 billion company, I'm going to get paid nothing. And he took it from 50 to over 650. And now this judge wants to say no. Little ridiculous that the judge now gets to say, so imagine you go and negotiate a contract with your company and say, look, don't pay me salary. But if I grow the company right now, we're doing 50 million a year. But if I grow to 650, I want to get paid $56 million is what I want to get paid. And they say, yeah, that's great. Okay, great. You're good. Everybody in the board shareholders say, yeah, we want 73%. Say yes, you're going to get that. Perfect. All right, guys. Thank you. I've hit my numbers. Can I get my $56 million check? Oh, we're all for it. Then what's the holdup? This local judge says we can't pay you. What would your reaction be? I actually want you to think about that. And forget about $50 million. Say it's $500,000. You're working for a company. They pay you zero. You say, if I do X, Y, Z, I want you to pay me $500,000 6 years from now. And they agree to it, but the judge says, no, how would you feel about it? It doesn't matter what the number is. We negotiated this contract. And in capitalism, the shareholders agreed that I should get paid this. Then a judge in Delaware, because that's where the company is incorporated, is holding this up. This is pathetic. You don't call this capitalism. By the way, they ask him, they say, why do you...
So it's kind of weird that PBD keeps mispronouncing Kathleen McC's name. But anyway, whatever, we'll give him a pass. I guess he doesn't have all the information. Anyway, just to be clear, it's Kathleen McC. And second, she's not a judge. She's an activist pretending to be a judge. And third, also, just to be really clear, we are hearing the term pay and 56 billion. But to be clear, as I've mentioned previously, this is stock-based compensation. It's not cash. Tesla, the company, doesn't need to come up with 56 billion. They literally issue stock. They're actually options. And Musk has to pay Tesla boatloads of cash to exercise those options. So the end result of this, there are now more Tesla shares in the public float, and Tesla ends up with billions of dollars of cash in their coffers because Musk had to buy those options.
Do you need to make this kind of money? He says, the reason why I want to make this kind of money is because I have some major aspirations in my life, such as none of it's intended for dynastic wealth creation. The reason that it's important to me personally is that there's some big things I want to do. I want to contribute as much as possible to humanity becoming a multi-planet species. Do you believe him? Do you believe that's what he wants to do? I do. Many do, but they want to hold up.
I mean, do I believe him?
5, 4, 3, 2. We have the stuff. Vehicle is pitching downrange.
Well, you know what? I think, yeah, you know what?
Booster engine cut off.
I think I believe him. After all, the recent Starship launch, why the fuck do you think he's making this incredible rocket? Like, hello?
Excitement. So right here, this is our view of the jettisoned hot stage. Booster, and there's that landing bird. That landing bird just begun, and you can see the water below. And we have splashdown. What an incredible sight!
Yeah, nah, all the haters are right. He's obviously not serious about Mars.
Up the money. So, frustrating, yes, but now you know why Elon hasn't yet gotten paid his $50+ billion money that he's owed by the company because of one judge named Kathleen McCormick, appointed by the governor, John Carney, of Delaware. For what it's worth, if somebody's watching this right now and your accountant or your CPA or your lawyer says, you should go ahead and incorporate your business in Delaware, think twice. Go to a different state. Kathleen McCormick doesn't like capitalists. Avoid that state. They're not fans of yours because even if all of a sudden you're going to get paid big money, they could potentially come in your way and say, you don't work for yourself. You work for me. I'm the judge. I'm your boss. You don't get to get paid big money unless I approve your paycheck. Man, that would drive an entrepreneur insane. So Delaware is no longer a pro-business state. It's quite regulatory today, ran by one judge, Kathleen McCormick. I hope it changes, but as of right now, it's lost a lot of credibility for entrepreneurs around the country. If you got value out of this video, give it a thumbs up.
Worst human ever on screen now. Great summary from PBD. Now let's hear what Robyn Denholm has to say, chair of Tesla's board.
The Tesla shareholder meeting is 1 week from today. Mark your calendar. At stake is the big vote on Elon Musk's pay package and to move the company's legal home from Delaware to Texas. Joining me right now in an exclusive interview is Tesla board chair Robyn Denholm, and we are thrilled to have you.
Thank you for having me.
And you have been working mightily hard over the past couple of weeks, talking to shareholders from around the country, big institutions and others. And there's an opportunity to talk to retailers, retail shareholders about what is going on at Tesla and about this pay package. We've been debating this pay package virtually every day now for weeks, if not months. I've been very outspoken. I think a lot of people know my own views about it. But I want to understand your views about it, and not just your views as the lead of the board, but also personally about how you think about what is going on right now.
Yeah, so I think for me, getting out and talking to shareholders is really important. And today is a great opportunity to actually speak directly to retail shareholders who form quite a big part of the ownership structure of the company. And so for me, the ratification of the pay package is really about fairness. Fairness to our CEO. If you look at what's happened at the company over the last 6 years, tremendous value creation. And he's led that. Right. Obviously, the Tesla team has been instrumental in it. But if you sit back, shareholders have benefited tremendously. Over $730 billion of value creation. Employees have benefited tremendously. They're all shareholders in the company, so their stock has risen. Customers have benefited by the tremendous innovation. And the only person who hasn't been paid is actually the leader of the company, Elon.
So, all true. And I just want to add something. Robyn mentioned fairness. This isn't just a matter of fairness to Elon Musk, who earned his compensation, but also fairness to Tesla shareholders, who overwhelmingly voted in favour for this compensation package, until a pile of human excrement with a chip on her shoulder decided to spit in our faces. It is unfair that this activist, pretending to be a judge, has robbed us, Tesla shareholders, of our will. We voted. We approved this package. How dare she spit in our faces and say, no, your vote doesn't count. Fuck her. It's unfair to shareholders who approved this package, and it's unfair to the guy who actually ticked off all the milestones necessary to receive the compensation that we all agreed to and approved.
You know my view. I believe a contract's a contract. But there are others who say, and by the way, the court has suggested that this is just too much money. What do you say to that?
Well, it's not about the dollars. It's actually about someone who took a huge risk from a pay perspective. No compensation would have been awarded had he not hit the milestones. And so for me, that risk reward is very important in corporate.
Again, I totally agree. By the way, quick side note, isn't it interesting that some of the vocal critics and opponents who are voting no to ratify Musk's fairly earned compensation and telling everybody they're voting no, isn't it rather curious that many of these folks happen to be compensated not based on performance, but in fact just their very existence, e.g. managers of money for others who get paid irrespective of the returns they produce for their clients and or customers. Isn't that interesting? Musk had purely performance-based compensation, and many people who have the polar opposite of performance-based compensation, they get paid no matter their performance, oppose this. I just thought that was worth putting out there. Interesting, isn't it? A lot of haters and a lot of, let's just be honest, losers seem to have trouble really weighing the fact that those who are purely compensated based on performance take outsized risks. Most people prefer safe and consistent and predictable income. Most people prefer a salary. This is why most people are cogs in a machine. Wage slaves, they're somebody else's bitch. They prefer that. They're unwilling to accept the risk entailed in running and operating their own business, being a sole trader, working purely for commissions, because it's too risky. Robyn makes a very important point here. Musk agreed to make nothing if he didn't at least approximately double Tesla's value as a company, plus see enormous revenue and earnings growth, just for the first milestone of this compensation package. Often, I don't think people appreciate the amount of risk involved, the risk taken and accepted by those who do not get paid a cent unless they produce results. I know, statistically speaking, obviously most people watching this channel earn a salary. You don't have that burden of risk hanging over you constantly to perform.
America. I think it's very important from reaching for the stars, if you like, or Mars in this case. But to me, it's about really setting things up, and Elon embodies that. Right. And so big, ambitious goals are things that drive innovation. And I think the options underneath this pay package are very well earned.
Let me ask you this. If the pay package is not approved by shareholders, what do you think would happen?
Yeah, well, obviously that's something the board has spent quite a bit of time deliberating. And when we were assessing all the different options after the January judgment came out, this is the best option. Ratifying the plan is the best option. Clearly, if it doesn't pass, then there are other alternatives, but none of them are as good from a shareholder perspective as actually ratifying the plan.
Agree. Now, I'm not sure if Robyn is going to discuss these other options. I'm going to guess probably no. Shit's ongoing, so I totally get that, but I'm going to jump the gun either way. As far as I understand, the following options, if Tesla shareholders are dumb enough to not ratify this compensation package, are one, Tesla can appeal the decision. Now, if the legal system wasn't corrupt, they'd easily win this. It'd be overturned, and that would be the end of Kathleen McSeebomb's career. But I do have my questions about the legal system in the United States at this point in time. Failing that, an entirely new compensation package could be proposed, I believe, for shareholders to vote on. But to Robyn's point, obviously the ideal outcome here for Tesla shareholders, I'm not talking about Musk here, I'm talking about Tesla shareholders, is for the compensation package to be ratified. I can't see any scenario in which this is knocked back by shareholders is helpful to the company or its valuation.
People have asked me, well, why didn't you renegotiate? Well, actually, from a legal perspective, ratification is really taking the same plan and putting it back in front of shareholders with all the requisite disclosure that the judge asked for.
There are some lawyers who have suggested, even if it is approved by shareholders again, that a court could strike it down and not accept this new ratification, if you will.
Well, that is possible, but quite frankly, if you sit back, that's actually quite detrimental from a shareholder primacy perspective, which at the end of the day, that's another reason why we're fighting so hard to get this ratified. Shareholder votes have been pretty sacrosanct from a Delaware law perspective, from a corporate America perspective.
Until now, because Elon bad. Isn't it amazing what happens when one guy stands up against bullshit and the establishment and allows people to freely share their thoughts and opinions and ideas? Suddenly, shareholders approve this? Oh, no, they didn't. Fuck you. Your opinion doesn't count. Delaware says no.
From a legal system. And over 73% of the unaffiliated shareholders voted for this plan in 2018.
So one of the things that's very interesting about what's happening now is to ratify, from a technical perspective, it's ratifying the prior plan as opposed to creating a new plan.
That's exactly
And one of the
right.
things that's, I think, misunderstood, and maybe you can help explain this, is it would actually cost a lot more from shareholders if, in fact, this was a new contract prospectively, in that you wrote down the cost of some of this back in 2018, the tune of about $2.7 billion, I think.
2.3.
2.3.
Yes.
But it would cost today, I think, closer to $25 billion.
That's exactly right. So
explain that.
So the actual return for shareholders, $2.3 billion stock-based comp charge that was taken for the 2018 plan is already happened. The share count in the options is already in the diluted share count. That's already happened. If that plan is overturned and we have to put in a new plan, for example, if it was exactly the same type of plan as the other, it would cost $25 billion worth of stock-based comp.
This is correct and important. And again, this is why I continue to clarify that Musk isn't being paid cash. These are stock options, and the options have already been accounted for in terms of share count. So the dilution has already happened. But importantly, a comparable plan today will require roughly 10 times the amount of dilution because Tesla, the value of the company's gone up about 10 times since the plan, which is the whole fucking point.
What do you make of the argument that Elon Musk already has a huge stake in this company, that he's already incentivized, that he's already motivated, that he's not going to walk away from this company if he didn't get this package?
I'm going to take this one, Robyn. Sorry. This is an argument being made by communists who believe that they are entitled to their fair share of what someone else earned which, by the way, your fair share of what someone else earned is nothing, you lazy motherfucker. And or people who are jealous and or envious. He has more than me already. He doesn't deserve any more. Fuck that guy. It's small brain thinking from small brain people. I'm sure almost everyone watching this channel has gone and seen a band perform, gone to a lecture, a talk, something along those lines. The performer, the keynote speaker, whoever it was, probably took home 6+ figures from that one event. They didn't need the money, yet they took it. Did they deserve the money? Did they add value to you? Yeah. So they should get paid. I strongly believe that people should be compensated in proportion to the amount of value they provide. The end. The end. Obviously, Musk owns a decent portion of Tesla, but that is irrelevant. What's relevant is incentivizing future performance. That's how this works. Incentives matter. Hello.
I think I'd turn that around. What I would say is put yourself in his shoes. You've worked really hard, incredibly hard over 6 years to lead the company through transformative growth. Nobody thought that these goals were possible in 2018. I remember talking to shareholders, and what they would say to me is, Robyn, what are you going to do? What's the board going to do when he doesn't hit the goals and he's demotivated? So for me, after all of that effort, to then have somebody overturn that package or the deal that was struck, how would you feel?
I would feel like somebody had fucked me without consent. Wait, what's the word for that again? That's how I would feel. Just saying. And just finally, again, to emphasize, it's not just that Musk pulled off the near impossible. It's the amount of pain this guy endured in doing so. He's sleeping on factory floors. His physical health, mental health, relationships have all suffered enormously as a result of this. Very few other humans on the planet, if any, would have been able to cop the amount of pain involved in doing what Musk did to earn every tranche in this compensation package. Most people would have killed themselves, quit, resigned. They couldn't have handled it. And I actually mean this literally. The guy's so resilient. The idea that Kathleen McSeebomb would rob the guy of this fairly earned compensation, in which he has poured blood, sweat, and tears and suffered enormously, is just outrageous. Anyway, we'll know the result of this shareholder vote very soon. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 is awesome. I've been taking it daily now for more than 3 years. It's a great way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's packed full of vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients. Plus, has prebiotics, probiotics, and adaptogens to improve gut health, regularity, and help your body handle stress. I'm always looking for an edge to help me feel and perform my best, which is why I haven't missed a day of AG1 for more than 3 years. And I haven't missed a daily video in more than 3 years. Must be a coincidence, right? Just try it and see how you feel. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs. But don't take my word for it. This is what viewers of the channel had to say after trying AG1. I feel like I have a lot more energy since I started on AG1. By the way, viewer, that makes 2 of us. On to the next. Just got my AG1 in the mail. Legit feeling the effects after day 3. This viewer's been taking AG1 for 8 months and says, what an investment. Another. 3 months ago, I started AG1 and have been enjoying the evenness of alertness and energy that lasts the day. I just started the wife on it too. Are you convinced yet? I mean, hey, it's worth trying, right? Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR or I can keep going. There's plenty more to come. This viewer, after about a month on AG1, definitely a lack of fatigue in the afternoon. Pleasant side effect is that my coffee intake has imploded and is almost down to 0. One more? Yeah, why not? I honestly feel younger and will be continuing to use AG1. This stuff really is crazy good. I didn't think it would be, but this stuff is awesome. It really is what everyone is saying. One more? Don't mind if I do. I've just received my 3rd month supply. I've drank it every day. I have so much energy throughout most of the day. I'm productive, started a new business, started socializing, refurbished a boat. It's no coincidence. Thank you for your persistence, your integrity, and your insights. Now look, these are not my words. These are not my testimonials. This is what you guys and girls are saying. Maybe it's 100% placebo effect. But even if that's the case, I think it's money well spent. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs. If you're still skeptical, hey, I don't blame you. Everyone on the planet seems to be promoting AG1 now, but guess what? They weren't nearly 3 years ago when I had this to say privately to my Patreon audience before there was a relationship, when I was asked about what I was doing for my health, energy, and so on. Just sharing my genuine, honest thoughts about a product I'd recently discovered that was at the time called Athletic Greens, now AG1. If I could only recommend one supplement to take, Athletic Greens, and I'm not getting paid to say this, Athletic Greens is a fucking game changer. I cannot believe how effective this is. No longer having a lack of energy in the afternoons. It's fucking amazing. There's only one thing to recommend, seriously. Try Athletic Greens. You won't go back. So obviously, just like Elon Musk is a liar, a fraud, a con man, a scammer, a fake engineer, and Tesla's going bankrupt, you shouldn't trust that guy from about 3 years ago who, without any financial incentive, was promoting this product to his audience on Patreon when they were asking about health and what he's doing for supplements. Because obviously, there was some other reason he recommended that, obviously. Not sure what it was, but don't trust that guy. And all the testimonials, like my mental game has improved with AG1. I feel better than ever. I'm so impressed I've bought it for both my parents. I feel more focused and have better digestion. Incredible difference. No more afternoon fatigue. It's relieved gut issues. These are all just obviously fake testimonials from fake people. Right? Wrong. Just try it. Unless you hate yourself. If you hate yourself and you don't even want to risk possibly feeling better, this is not for you. But for everyone else, what's the worst that could happen? Try it for a month. See how you feel. It's a no-brainer. Just click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR. You'll get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 and K2 plus 5 travel packs. And you'll take the colossal risk that maybe you might have a similar experience to some of the people whose testimonials we've read in this video.